Everyone, welcome to the show. The Guardian is reporting that the Senate report about then Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh contained, quote, serious omissions. So here's what's going on. Here's what's being reported now. And you guys might not remember some of this, so I'll refresh your memory along the way. But Republicans were in charge of the Senate at the time of that report. And they dismissed one of the allegations against Kavanaugh as mistaken identity. You guys will recall he was accused of sexual harassment, sexual assault. This was supposedly back when he was in college. He had a total meltdown. He was like a mess, crying, screaming, pitching a fit, and they pushed him through. So he is a Supreme Court justice now. But the Republicans at the time said that a Yale graduate who had accused him, Deborah Ramirez, likely was the word they used, mistook another student for Kavanaugh. They got this idea, we're finding out now, from an attorney named Joseph Smith Jr. He, like Kavanaugh, is a member of the Vile Federalist Society. He also graduated from Yale. And he was part of the team, by the way, that represented George Bush in that really sketchy Florida recount back in the year 2000. So Smith posited the idea, he sent an email, posited the idea that it was a man named Jack Maxey, Maxey. Maxey was a member of Kavanaugh's fraternity. And according to Smith, he had a reputation for exposing himself to girls on campus, to women. Nice group of guys, huh? Also Christian. So anyway, the Guardian reached out to Maxey, and he said that not only was he not contacted by anyone from the Senate, as they were supposedly investigating all of this, right? Investigating all of these accusations against Kavanaugh. So they never reached out. But on top of that, Maxey wasn't even a student at Yale when this incident allegedly occurred. Maxey said, quote, "I was not at Yale. I was a senior in high school at the time. I was not in New Haven. These people can say what they want, and there are no consequences ever." And here's the thing. You know, people might listen to this and go, oh, he's obviously liberal and blah, blah. No. This guy has no reason to lie, to try to make up stories to help the Democrats. Maxey is a Republican activist who has been out sharing the contents of Hunter Biden's laptop with the media. More recently, he traveled to Hungary and he gave a hard drive copy of Hunter Biden's laptop to that country's authoritarian leader, to Viktor Orban. And Maxey says he got this copy of Biden's laptop from Rudy Giuliani. Oh, and he also used to work for Steve Bannon on his podcast. So he is far from a liberal. Also, earlier this year, there was a documentary that was released called Justice. Another Yale graduate was heard in this documentary in an audio recording. And he said that he personally witnessed Kavanaugh flashing a female student. This was at a party. She was very drunk. A man named Max Steyer says he saw Kavanaugh's friends force this inebriated girl to hold Kavanaugh's junk. Evidently, Steyer reached out to her, but she admits, you know, she was so drunk that night, she has no recollection of this alleged assault. And she told Steyer that she didn't want to come forward after witnessing the heinous treatment of Kavanaugh's other accusers. But in addition to this incident, Steyer said in his audio recording that he heard of Kavanaugh's alleged assault of Deborah Ramirez. Apparently, Yale students were gossiping all about this, and they said that Kavanaugh stuck his junk in Ramirez's face twice. They said basically after the first incident, Kavanaugh went to the bathroom and his friends convinced him to go into the bathroom and make himself erect. So Kavanaugh goes in, he complies, he does this. Then he comes out and he assaults Ramirez a second time. So Steyer went on to say that he wanted to provide this information to the FBI anonymously, and the Senate Republicans knew this. They were made aware of his stories and his interest in sharing what he witnessed, but they never again bothered to interview him. Neither did the FBI. And remember, the FBI is said to have received approximately 4,500 tips about Kavanaugh. But instead of investigating them, what did they do? They sent them all of the quote unquote relevant tips that they received to Donald Trump's White House. And we should remember, we're not talking about a cable news host. We're not talking about some random guy. We're talking about a Supreme Court justice, a man who holds a lifetime appointment to the highest court in our nation. Someone who's supposed to be above reproach, someone who is supposed to be so morally sound, especially coming from this, alt-right, uber conservative Christian wing. This is someone who literally makes life and death decisions in this country. When you have a prisoner on death row and they're appealing to the Supreme Court, that is what he does, among other things. So this is what and who Trump and the Republican Party has done to our country. This is the bar they've set for the highest court in our country. Anyway, guys, if I hear any more, I will let you know. Thank you so much for watching and listening. Please like, share, and subscribe. Please become a monthly supporter if you can, or leave a one-time tip or thank you. It's greatly appreciated. Love you all. Take care, and I'll talk with you soon.